What is up, homies? Welcome back to another video. I'm at the shop right now inside a Kia Optima. Customer is complaining of a check engine light. It says on the notes hesitation on acceleration. So I'm gonna go drive it. I see the check engine light on. 45,000 miles on this car, and we're gonna see what we feel. See if we feel that lack of power. See if we feel that hesitation. Try to duplicate the customer's concern, and then we'll bring it in, check for codes, and we'll take it from there. So let's go on a little test drive. Let's go. Buckle up. Drive. And vámonos. Let's see what's see what happens here. Subway. Ay, wait. What the okay. Oh, look. Let's just ignore all stop signs. Alright, let's go drive it. Hopefully we don't get stranded. See, that's one thing you want to know before you go on a little test drive is, will the car turn off on you or not? You know, because you don't want to go drive it and then get stranded, and then you're going to have to get towed back to the shop when you were already at the shop. So now you're going to be like, what the? Okay, let's go. This one just says hesitation. Car started up fine. So, let's see. Hey, wait. I don't feel anything. Okay. 52 miles per hora, and I don't feel anything. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I floored it and it didn't want to go. Did you guys see that? Woohoo! Okay, let me slow down here. There's a little construction site going on. What are you looking at? All right, let's see. I'm gonna floor it here. It says 25 miles per hour on the speed limit, but I gotta do this. This is my job. All right, here we go. Flooring it. Whoa. Okay, 3,500 RPM, 35 miles per hour, and that's as good as it gets. Okay, you guys see it right there. All right, so customer's complaint is verified. Could be that this thing is in limp mode. All right, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's go back to the shop and hook up a scanner. All right, got the car here. I got the scanner. I'm going to be using the auto just because it was easy to reach for. And we're going to see what codes we got in the ECM for this. So this is a 2016 Kia Optima with a 2.4 liter engine. You guys saw on the test drive we were losing power. It wouldn't accelerate past 35. I mean, when I was driving, it was going close to like 50 miles per hour. And then once I gave it a full throttle, it wouldn't go past 35. So I just want to look in here and see what's going on inside. We'll go straight to the ECM just to speed things up a little bit and see what's in there. So we got a P200A intake manifold runner performance. Intake manifold runner. Okay. That's a big code, P200A. Let's look at some data. Well, actually, I'm trying to look at some freeze frame, but I don't have any freeze frame. Why? Yeah, let's just look at data for the intake manifold. Okay. I got a bunch of PIDs here that I can look at. So basically, I think I want to look at runners. Here's a VCM actuator. That's a variable. VCM is a variable charge motion actuator, which I think has to do with the flaps inside the manifold. Voltage. Port flap, this, flap, boom, 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 boom. So everything that says VCM and port flaps, I'm going to be looking at. Okay, I think that's good for now. And we'll just go to show. And I'm going to start the car up and see what's going on here, buddy. Alright, you guys can still see check engine light is on right there. 45,628 on the odometer. And we'll see what's up in here. Okay, let me give it a little throttle. I hear a little, right now that I have the hood open, I hear like a little rattling under there. You guys hear that? Go for it. Dale. I don't know if the phone can pick it up, but sounds like a little rattling, like a rattling. So is there anything that's jumping out at me? Intake port flat position, 35%. And it changes to 15, flat set point. I'm not too familiar with this Kia Optima and how the intake runner works and all that. But let me go do some research on this, and I'll bring you guys back once I have a little more information on this. All right, so check this out. Intake manifold, runners. Got this motor here. They call this a VCM, which is a variable charge motor, I think. Something like that. Let me check. I got a diagram here for you guys. So let's see. Let's go over this diagram first before we go under the hood. All right, so here we go. This is a diagram of this the PCM circuit for this 2016 Kia Optima 2.4. And you can see right here in the middle, you can see a variable charge motion motor. That's what that is. So it's pretty much a motor. And then it has those 3 wires, number 4, 5, and 6. That's a potentiometer, so it signals back to the computer that whatever is in there, the flaps or whatever, it signals back to the computer that the flaps inside are actually moving. And that's how the computer knows that there's motion in there, okay? So it's pretty simple. It's just some butterfly flaps. I've seen this on some other Dodge Avengers, some other Dodge, some 4-cylinder engines. And on those engines, you actually have to remove the whole manifold when you have a similar code. I think it's a P2006 or a P2004. But what I hear here, what I'm listening to here, is every time I rev it, like I showed you guys earlier, there's a small rattle or like a buzzing that's coming from under the hood. And that's where I think our problem is coming from. So I'm going to go under the hood and show you some tests that you can do, and then we'll see if the customer wants to buy, we'll see if the customer wants to fix a problem. So let's go under the hood. All right, so we got the intake manifold here. This is that VCM motor that I was talking to you about. So it's a 5-wire connector right here, power, ground, and then you got the potentiometer in there. Then over here on this side, you have this, what is this, like an actuator. That one is controlled by that solenoid that's down here, and it's vacuum controlled. So when that solenoid is activated, sends vacuum to that, moves the flaps in there, and that vacuum comes directly from here from the manifold. So you want to check this hose, make sure there's no hose in there. What I'm going to do right now with the scanner is I'm going to command that solenoid on, and we're going to see if this actuator over here moves. So on the scanner, okay, so here we go. I'm going to pause that. I'm just going to go straight into the ECM because I know that's where the problem is. And I'm sorry about the music, guys. We're happy employees over here. Okay, so read codes. We already know we have this P200A00. Intake manifold runner performance on bank 1, and we only have one bank. So we know that there's flaps down here that are controlled by this actuator, and there's flaps up here that are controlled by this motor. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the active test, and I'm gonna go into the variable intake solenoid option. Okay, so this is with the engine running. Okay, see that? Okay, with the engine running, I'm gonna hit start right there, and I'm gonna keep you guys posted right there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit start on this scanner, and you can see that moving. So that's the test right there. So that tells me that everything down here, that solenoid is working, the vacuum is getting there to that actuator, and it's making it move. Okay, so now I'm gonna hit stop right here, and that solenoid stops. Now I'm gonna do the test for the motor, which is right here, the VCM motor option. Now that one, ignition on, engine off. So let me turn the ignition off. Now if you don't have a scanner, I'll show you how to do that solenoid test right now with just a simple vacuum pump. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the key on for this. We're gonna go back under the hood, and I'm actually gonna command this motor on. I do apologize for the glare again, but you can see me at least. Okay, so I'm gonna hit start, and that's gonna command this motor on. Did you guys hear that? That motor should not sound like that. See that? Does it again, and that's coming from this motor right here. Alright, that doesn't sound good to me. Alright, now on some engines you actually got to replace the whole manifold. Right now what I hear is the motor. I know there's movement inside because I was able to see the data on the scanner, but this motor right here will cost the customer close to like $400 or $500. The manifold run you a little more, so it's up to the customer what they want to do. This is a 2016 Kia Optima. Doesn't have too many miles, so I think we'll be okay if we just change the motor. But we do got to let the customer know that this manifold runners inside, and those may go out in the near future. Okay, so if you don't have, let me see, I did the test for the solenoid where I activated that. Now see what you can see in there. You can see the solenoid in there. But if you don't have a scanner, what you want to do is disconnect this vacuum hose. This vacuum hose right here. You hear that? And I'm just going to use a vacuum pump, and I'm going to apply vacuum to this hose, which goes to the actuator on this side. And you're going to take a look and see how we do that with a vacuum pump. Alright, I'm going to use this vacuum pump, connect it to that vacuum line, and I'm going to apply vacuum to it, and you should see that actuator move right there. Let me see. Okay, let me show you what I'm doing here. So I'm just connecting this to this line that goes to the actuator. I'm going to pump this, and you should see that actuator working. Okay, see that? And now I'm going to let go of the vacuum. We'll do it again so you can watch it. Alright, so that tells me that vacuum line is not torn. This actuator is working. I believe the flaps inside are moving. I can't see inside, but one way to check it will be to take it off and make sure that the flaps in there are actually moving. But I'm not concerned with that right now. After listening to this motor, I'm sure that our problem is right there. So I'm going to go ahead and recommend this. Now over here where I'm doing this, if you don't have a vacuum pump, what you can do is just take this hose and suck on it. Now I'm not going to do that for you, but you can do that. Just suck on the hose and see if the actuator moves, or have somebody watch for you. But yeah, that's how you do it. I'm going to plug this hose back. There's nothing wrong with this over here. I'm going to recommend that motor. If they approve it, I'll show you the job. If not, I'll see what I do right now. Alright, I'm back on the scanner, and I just want to look at a couple PIDs just to verify that there's actually movement inside the flaps. Now, if you see under the hood, we have two sets of flaps. Okay, there's one flap that's controlled by vacuum, and there's another flap that's controlled by this variable charge motion motor. Okay, this is the one that's making that buzzing noise. This is the one that I believe is our issue, so that's the one that I'm recommending. I'm just waiting for approval. Now, looking in here, I'm just looking at all the PIDs that have to do with the VCM, that variable charge motion motor, port flap, everything in here. Now on the actuator with the vacuum, there is no feedback circuit, so there's no way for me to know if the flaps are moving unless I open it up and look inside of it. But right now what I'm doing is I'm just looking at different trying to look at different data to see what's going on with that intake manifold actuator. Oh. Okay, so VCM actuator option, that's a percentage, and it's going negative, so I don't know what's going on there. I'm not too familiar with this Kia Optima, but here's that input from the VCM feedback sensor. And just looking, I think this is that signal wire, and you can definitely see movement in those flaps. So if those flaps weren't moving, then we wouldn't see any feedback on this circuit. The flap position, port flap, VCM port flap position. Okay, that also, you can see it right there. Let me graph that for you. And you can hear it buzzing. I can hear it from in here. I don't know if you guys can pick it up, if the phone's able to pick it up, but it is like buzzing. And this right here tells me that electrically it's good. It's just either broken or internally damaged, and I'm gonna change it out if they approve it. I mean, it's pretty expensive. It's an expensive part, but it is what it is, homies. So right here, just looking at data, there is movement inside the flaps. I don't think they're binding. I think this is a motor issue. Now it's just a matter of waiting. That's it. We'll see what happens here.